Well, welcome to Billiards Level 2. My name is Lhotka. You've already, met most of you already. I've been doing this class for quite a few years. And before we go any further, I want to introduce Chuck. Where's Chuck? There he is. Chuck has been in almost every one of my classes for the last 8 years or so, and he's going to be our assistant instructor as well. I'm only one person, and we're going to do a nice group lesson here. And we're going to start out the first one with basics. One of the things that you hear often when you hear about people having problems with learning how to play pool is they really are confused about how to aim. And one of the things you're going to learn in this class is that all the hard work of aiming is done while you're standing above the shot. And probably one of the biggest faults that people have when they're taking their stance is they haven't really sighted the shot. In other words, if you look at any sport, your alignment, the way your body is positioned, is absolutely crucial to being accurate. Whether it's darts or it's putting in golf or it's serving in tennis, all those things are critical as well in pocket billiards. Now, one of the things I'm going to cover first of all, but before I get to that, I put a quote on my handout, and you probably haven't had a chance to read it yet. But this is a quote that's always stuck with me over the years. Playing pool at a higher level requires the focus and dexterity of a brain surgeon. And you know what? That's what makes this game so wonderful, so exciting, and so interesting, is that it's so damn hard, okay? And I know we have people of a lot of different levels in this class, but that's fine. We're gonna have a great time. And one of the main things that I like to encourage everybody in this class is to have fun during this class. In fact, I read a book called The Pleasure of Small Motions. It's about pocket billiards. And one of the things that it focuses on is the fact that how important it is to enjoy what you're doing. And the faster you're going to learn, the more you enjoy it. Because people come up to me often and they'll ask me, how do I become a good pool player? And that's the first thing I tell them. You got to have a passion and desire to learn. That's the most important thing. And then from there, you have to have the willingness to put yourself out there. Take a class, read a book, watch a YouTube channel. Learn what you can. Take a few risks. Jump into a tournament. That kind of thing. The more you're willing to put yourself out there, the faster you're going to improve. And then finally, when I think about pocket billiards, the third most important thing is to bury your ego. It's a humbling sport, isn't it? Isn't it? Okay. And when I say bury your ego, I mean, don't get thrown off when things don't go your way and all that. It's because when you're learning something new or learning a skill for the first time, you usually go down for a while until it becomes more automatic. Because sometimes you'll be thinking about, where do I put my arm? How do I put my leg? How do I relax my shoulders? How do I grip the cue? You start thinking about a lot of stuff. When you're thinking about all that stuff, it's hard to play good pool. Eventually, through drills and practice, they become automatic. And that's what we're looking towards in this class. We help you get some of the basics of pool that become an automatic part of your game. Now, Chuck's been in this class for many years, and the one thing that I think about when I think about learning pocket billiards is that you never stop learning. Never. I've been playing since I was a small child. I'm 73 years old now, and I still learn stuff.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's why I always say an attribute to becoming a better pool player is to keep an open mind. Okay. And and be willing to, maybe listen and try different things to help you getting along the way. Because I remember, and this, I'll stop talking in a minute because I want to get to know all of you, but a story that I have to tell is when I was a small child. My parents had a pool table in their attic. It was a 5 by 10 table. That's how old I am. Now this is 9 foot. They used to have even bigger tables. And I was like, I would say 4.5, 5 years old at the time, and I could barely see over the table. And I saw all these beautiful colored balls in this shiny bright light. And I got up there and I started rolling those balls around the table. And you know what? I immediately was hooked. I was hooked into this game. What a beautiful game. And fast forward like 65 years later, I still had that passion. And that's what it takes to get you to play. Okay.
Can I add one thing more?
Yeah, sure.
'Cause I've been playing with a couple guys the last 6 months, and they're way better players. They keep bugging me. Don't shoot so hard. Shoot easy. Because I want
One of the first thing I would say about that, and this goes into the first lesson we're going to talk about basics, is pool is a non-tension sport. If you're rigid through the arms and shoulders and your wrists and very stiff over a shot, your stroke is not going to work properly. In other words, breathing and relaxing should be part of your pre-shot routine when you're shooting the ball. Because literally when you're holding the cue, it's like gripping a paper cup in your hand, very relaxed. In other words, you'll see as I cradle this cue, my fingers slip underneath with the thumb straight down. But literally my arm hangs at a 90-degree angle, but it's totally relaxed. So you see when I take the cue back, you'll notice my back of my hand opens up. That's because my hand and wrist are totally relaxed. And from this, I keep the level cue. Now you can see what happens if I hold it rigidly, like this, or firm, or a death grip. When you come back, it's like sawing wood. And there's no backstroke, and there's no follow-through if your arms and wrists are rigid. So you want to learn to breathe and relax as part of your pre-shot routine. So when you take the cue back, it basically slides through your fingers like this, and then allows you to make a long, smooth follow-through. Notice how the cue comes through my hand. When you play that way, the game almost seems effortless. Like if you watch some of these YouTube stations and some of the really good players in the world, they look like they're hardly putting any effort into it at all. That's because they're so totally relaxed. Okay, anything else before we get started? Well, what I'd like to do today, and the mantra is to hit the cue ball where you're aiming. Okay, that's what we're going to learn today. And learning how to aim and position your body in correct alignment are absolutely essential. And I'll give you some drills to kind of work on that. Okay, as part of the first class, I do have to mention what's called the pre-shot routine. Now, you've all heard that term before, I hope. And what that really means is, if you watch tennis, like Roger Federer serve, if you watch basketball, Curry shooting free throws, what do you notice about these champion athletes when they're preparing, or even Tiger Woods before he plays? What is it common that they do as part of their pre-shot routine? Obviously they're relaxed, they breathe and relax, they visualize what they want to do. But what do you notice about them? Anything in particular?
They take practice shots, practice
Well,
swings.
they're doing kind of a rehearsal,
Yeah.
warming up. But what is it that makes them able to be so utterly consistent and accurate every time?
Repetition.
Yeah, excellent. Stephen got it. they basically have the same exact pre-shot routine on every shot. Now, the same thing when you watch a really good pool player, you're going to notice the same thing. You know, and some of you maybe don't watch some of the professional pool on TV or on streaming services, but that's a big part of the game. And you watch, you know, I think of Stephen Curry in basketball shooting a free throw. He does the exact same pre-shot routine every time, and he shoots like 95% of his free throws. Okay. Now, this is a level 2 class, and we're trying to bring you to the next level. And we're going to start out with a straight-in shot. Now, for the first shot, or drill number 1, we're going to remove the ball from that white reinforcer. Now let me just kind of go through my pre-shot routine. Yours doesn't have to be just like mine. But I think some of the principles that I'm going to teach you are crucial to you becoming a better player. The number one thing is you got to get your eyes in the proper position. Okay. Now a lot of times what I'm going to do here is I'm going to shoot the cue ball directly in the center of the pocket, exactly where I'm aiming. So my eyes are moving back from here, the center of the pocket, to the back of the cue ball. And the eyes go back and forth. I'm breathing and relaxing. I'm not standing at attention. I'm visualizing the cue ball going straight in the pocket. Take a nice deep breath. Now, when you have the target or your aim point in mind and your eyes are right on it, the right foot is going to swing back just slightly. So that right big toe is pretty much on the line. Did you see what I did? Like that. Then I can take a step forward, my left foot, and swing down. Now when I get down on the shot, sometimes I'm going to be perfectly aligned to the center of the pocket. But a lot of times when you get down on the shot, you'll be aiming to the right, so you have to twist your body. You don't want to do that. You want to learn how to get down on the shot so your cue falls perfectly on the line every time. So the first drill is actually practicing that. Breathe and relax. Visualize the shot. See it going in. Right foot on the line, left foot forward, swing down. And you notice my body's about at a 45-degree angle. And that gives clearance for the cue, okay, which is really crucial. You don't want to be too straight on or too far like this. You want to be perfectly balanced. Breathe and relax. Right foot, left foot forward, swing down. And if I find myself off like this, I get back up. Right foot, left foot forward, swing down. And you see after a while, you're able to get that cue right on that aim point every time. So just the drill number 1 is practicing that. So when you step into the shot, the cue falls right on the line. You notice how my cue is falling into the shot? But everything is dictated by your eyes. In other words, if I get my eye perfectly on my aim point, back to the cue ball, I'm getting my body in the proper position. Right foot back on the line, left foot forward, swing down. And that's my pre-shot routine. But we're all physically different. So we have different ways of getting to that position. Now, drill number 2 is simply now shooting the cue balls directly into the pocket. Breathe and relax, visualize the shot. Cross, left foot forward, swing down. Now you notice when I get down on the shot, I'm taking some warm-up strokes. Those are real important. Those are like the rehearsal for the actual shot. Once I get perfectly aligned and I feel like I'm prepared to shoot and go directly at, I'll just literally let it go. But everything is relaxed. My arm and shoulder, my hand and wrist. And when you're doing this drill, notice how your cue goes from the white reinforcer. Does it go to the right? Does it go to the left? Did you miss on one side or the other? Now that's where you're going to be working with a partner to get feedback. And I know for some of you that are more advanced, this seems pretty basic. But you know what? We can diagnose issues by just doing that simple drill. I know by watching somebody do that, I can tell right away where some of the problems might be. Okay. All right, after you feel like you've done that for a while, we'll actually put a real object ball out there, okay? Take the cue ball.
Here.
Oh, it's down there? That's right. And you notice I have these set up on every table for this drill. And this shot is perfectly straight in. So now we're going to actually practice pocketing the 3-ball in the corner. And again, breathe and relax, getting your eyes in the right position. Draw that line laterally back. Right foot back on the line. Step forward into the shot. Take a few warm-up strokes. Everything perfectly relaxed. Seeing the ball go right in the center of the pocket. You can kind of watch the cue ball. Ideally, I would rather have the cue ball follow the ball right into the pocket because that means I'm hitting it perfectly straight. And again, you want to practice this until you can make like 5 or 10 in a row. And just get that stroke lasered in. Eyes on the target. Foot back, swing down. Nice warm-up strokes. Nice and smooth. That one was much better. You see how the cue ball came directly towards the pocket. So what we're trying to do right here is laser in our strokes so you're hitting the cue ball when you're aiming, which is a key fundamental. Now here's another part of the drill too. What was that?
I have no idea.
That's the speakers coming on.
Oh!
What was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Through the speaker for some reason.
All right, we're going to throw a wrench into the workings now. Now we're going to give you a little obstacle to work on. This is also part of drill number 3. We're going to put 2 object balls intervening. And this is a way of diagnosing whether or not your stroke is going straight through. So we're going to put these 2 balls behind the cue ball and continue to pocket the 10 ball. And the idea here is that if your stroke is off to one side or the other, you'll probably hit the ball. Swing down. And that'll help you to get the feel for the stroke. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll put a wooden stick, because sometimes people hit the cue up and sweep setting and yeah. I won't do that today because that can get, yeah, go ahead, Ron.
This has come up a couple times.
Yeah.
I always focus on the object ball.
Right.
But friends said, really, you should focus on the white ball.
Well, actually, your eyes go back and forth until you feel like you're lasered in on the target.
Okay.
In other words,
Yeah.
as I get down and my eye is on the target, back to the cue ball, back to the target. Right foot, swing down. Now, as I get down in the shot here, it's going from the cue ball to the object ball. But at the very last instant, it's on the object ball.
So does that
Yeah.
hold true when you have a long green shot? The very last thing you look at is the object ball?
Yes. Yeah. Same thing. If we had a long shot like this, and way back here, the pre-shot routine would be exactly the same. And see the aim point? Draw that line all the way back. Remember, my eyes dictate where my body is. Right foot on the line, step forward. See, that's the key in pool, is to get your body correctly aligned. In fact, I was 100% confident I was going to make that ball because I felt like my body was perfectly aligned in my cue. And you notice those warm-up strokes are really important because you can kind of build your confidence there. You're feeling the shot going straight through and pocketing the ball. that I know this is pretty basic for some of you for the first day, but I think you'll, I'm looking forward to watching you shoot these shots and kind of getting a feel for how to get a good pre-shot routine going. Now, the other thing I'd like to cover here today, too, and we'll get you playing here pretty soon, is you notice I put a white reinforcer right behind the spot. All right, we're going to put an object ball on the spot, and you'll notice that when you aim a cut shot, we've been talking about a straight in shot so far, right? Now we're going to talk about how to aim a cut shot. Now, you can see that if I want to pocket the 2 ball, the cue ball has to hit right there to pocket the 2, and you can see that it's aimed directly at the pocket. We call that a ghost ball, okay? Now, if I'm going to pocket that 2 ball, I can't aim at the contact point, can I? Because if I aim there, the 2 ball will hit way over here. In other words, you aim at the center of a ghost ball, or the 1.1/8 behind the contact point. So when I'm setting up and doing my alignment and all this, I'm not aiming for this part. I'm aiming for that spot in the middle of the ghost ball. In other words, where that ghost ball would be to pocket it into the corner. And you don't, if the ghost ball bothers you, you don't even have to think of it that way. Just think of a half ball behind the contact point is another way to think of it. So I've got my eyes right on the target. Same pre-shot routine. Right foot back, swing down. And if I'm not correct at this point, I'll actually stand back up and start over. And I feel like everything's lasered in. I'll just let the cue go. And I've got a second dot also on the table for cutting the ball in the other direction. By the way, do we have any left-handers here? Any left-handers? No, I guess not. So this will be another opportunity to shoot a cut shot. Now sometimes when you get these cut shots, it does help to get behind the 1 ball and see exactly where you want to hit the 1 ball to make it. Then come back, keeping your eye on that aim point. Draw that line all the way back. Right foot, swing down to the left. Make a few warm-up strokes. And today, you notice I'm hitting a nice smooth rolling ball. Next week, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about hitting a stop shot with stroke, drawing the cue ball back, and also following the cue ball. Because that's the most important thing to learn in this class. If you don't learn anything else, you want to master the vertical axis of the cue ball. And we'll talk about English, but mostly you want to master hitting a high ball so the cue ball rolls forward, a stop shot, and a draw shot. Just real quick so you understand exactly what that means. A stop shot is a shot where I'm going to hit it maybe slightly below center, so when the cue ball gets to the object ball, it's not rolling forward and it's not rolling backwards, and it'll stop dead right there, which is a real important shot to learn. And again, you don't want to overhit these. Nice and smooth. So you notice I'm just slightly below center. That would be a stop shot. Follow shot, and some of you more advanced players might want to practice this. Now when you practice the follow shot, you'll notice my bridge changes. It comes up a little higher now. So I'm keeping a relatively level cue, but I'm hitting it well above center. And you want to scratch the cue ball. Actually try to. And then you'll notice when I do the draw shot, I'm going to try to bring the cue ball back to the white spot. And again, you'll notice my bridge will change a little bit too, but I'm keeping the Q-tip fairly level. You don't want to jack it up in the back. Keep it nice and level. I got it all the way down to here.
Son of a gun.
See how, notice that's real important, not to jack up the cue. Because you notice I didn't use any effort with the ball cue like that. That's because it's accelerating through, all the way through, without the tip coming up in the air. Okay. That's all I got for today, but any questions about anything we've done?